Hello, this is Zeke777, and welcome to episode 33 of Simply Magic 2. Today, the general theme is going to be fixing stuff up. As you can see, I've been adding a few details around the base. I've been putting these little runes made of, what is this, chisel and bits. I used some void stone in there, so it's a little animated, as well as I put a couple little spheres floating around the base. The idea is floaty things are magic-y. We are going to do a couple things. One, I made myself a modeling tool, which is kind of a cool little thing. But what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to make a little mini version of this, like this whole base, everything in here. So let's go down here, keep our flight. And what I'm going to do is if I hit F3G, it will show the chunk borders. So let's fly up here, and I want to... Do I left click or right click? Left click? Yeah. So that gets me a little corner of the base. It's going to take quite a few little clicks to do this, but I think this is going to work. One of the things when I had done this a little bit before is I can't use all the blocks for chisel and bits. Namely, I can't use copper blocks. Apparently those don't chisel. And a couple things from Ars Magica don't as well. But I think this whole idea is going to be kind of cool. For quite a while, this whole little dome thingy has just sat here as a couple arches. I have to say it's really handy being able to just fly in here. However, most of the time I'm flying in to get to my storage area, which I purposely left this open. Yeah, like I said, this is going to be a fixing up episode. We're going to fix this. I left this open here on purpose so I can fly in, which means I don't really need this to be open because I can fly in on either side anyway. So I think this dome is... I think it's scheduled for a little fix-up. I think what I'm going to do is, this is a rather tall area. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my bed upstairs. I'll put another level in here, and I'm going to have kind of a big map of the base. And I'm not quite sure how I want to do that. If I want to do it all, I can't quite do it to scale, I don't think. Well, consider... This is how big this is going to be with chisel and bits. If I right click, so that's one little corner of the thing. If I do, can I rotate you? Oh, ran out of stuff. So it's going to be that big. It's a 2x2 thing, so it's 2 chunks by 2 chunks. Let me see how big my whole base is. If I go to journey map, this is going to be, let's see. If I do the whole thing to scale from this corner, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 15 by 16 be too easy if it actually was... Actually, you know, 16 by 16, that works. Let's see if I have enough room actually here. Yep, gonna freeze. There we go. Let's see. This is 4, 5 by 5, 6 by 6, 7 by 7, 8 by 8. I lost count because it went diagonally. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know what? I think this will work here. Okay, slight change of plans. We're gonna move it. If I go to journey map here, I've now mapped out, except for apparently 2 blocks here, a 16 by 16 area, which is kind of the whole campus. And I think we're going to pick this one kind of in the center. It's not quite the center because, actually wait, is it 16, 16? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So it's 15 by 16, close enough. Basically it's one, might as well claim another. I'll have it be in the center. It's 16 by 16, so that's one chunk. And I think this chunk that I'm currently standing in is my chunk. So let's do F3G again, turn you on, and let's just map out where my corners are. So this is going to be, I'll put a building in here at some point. In the meantime, it's just going to be, actually no, I'm probably going to build a building first, but let's place the corner so we can at least see where we are. You my spot, you are. Cool. So, we're going to have a little building here, and in this is going to be a complete map of the base. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that crystal since that's entirely underground though. Okay, have a small little platform here. So let's suck this up so that we aren't wasting. These dark tanks are pretty awesome. You can expand them. Currently this can hold up to 208 buckets, and apparently gives off light. Let's go ahead and close this up. There we go. We have a 16 by 16 area, which is kind of just a blank slate at this point. I think this is going to be kind of the level that it is. I'm going to do probably that block around the edges, build that up a little bit, and I think, well, yeah. So we still have to finish off the main building here, the roof of that, as well as I have this dome here isn't done yet. So let me go ahead and do that. And just like that, we are done. Almost. So, one thing in there, and I don't know if you had caught it or not. That didn't, wow. I have flight on. Yay. Cool. Flight just turned off there. That was kind of fun and almost died. Anyway, the very top of this, I currently actually don't have a way in there except for flying over the section. Can I get up over here yet? Nope. Have to wait for that to expire. It's kind of annoying. So you can see through there, there's a couple blocks that I still need to place, as well as I need to fill in the green blocks here, the polished corrosive stone. So let's kill you. Actually, do I have my... Yeah, we'll just kill you. I was hoping to use my Elementi Max, but I don't have it available. Okay, so once my flight turns off, then I can re-enable it and it'll actually take effect. It's kind of an annoying little thing there, but turn flight back on, there we can fly. Cool. Fun. Still need to place in the green blocks around here, as well as there are a few, what is it, 4 blocks? I ran out of the elf class. I hadn't actually set it to replenish my inventory. I just grabbed a few stacks and hoped it was enough, but it apparently was not. So let's see. The way I did this before was green all the way up around in the middle. So let's switch to you. Rod of the Shifting Crust, one of the most useful tools I've ever made in this. And let's just turn all this into stone. Cool. And let's see, in the middle, I just want a line straight up the middle. So that's easy enough. Turn this into you. Cool. And how did I do the top? Did I do it like this one? That just goes to a regular cross section. Okay, so that's easy. And then I need this layer here. Let's turn you into it as well. Cool. So we will be right back after we finish this. Yeah, I'm not sure if it was bothering you guys or not, but it was definitely bothering me. We now have 4 complete domes on our greenhouse here. I still need to work out exactly what I'm going to do in the middle. I think we can do kind of a partial dome and then just have a big ring around the top at whatever layer that would be. I think that'll look pretty good. But for now, we're going to just leave that be. Mostly because, yeah, I still have the whole rest of the tree to actually fill in. Anyway, so we'll deal with that when we get there. Over here, let's get back to what we were actually working on. I also, as you can see, I filled in the top of the actual main hall here, as well as a few little decorative things. I have a little landing pad here. One of the things the reason I was holding off on actually doing this dome was because I liked being able to land up here. So I have a nice little landing pad with some little decorative, what's that, Chimerite sphere from Ars Magica. The sphere is from Architecture Craft, which is a pretty cool mod. Then I have this here. I should probably build a second bed here so it's actually centered. But yeah, like I said, I do want to put a second floor on here, like a little some sort of study or arcane laboratory, something. I don't know, just a decorative pretty much. And I think I'm going to leave that dark for now. It's nothing in here is spawnable, so that's fine. But I think I'm going to leave that dark for now. I might put in additional details. I'm not really sure how I want to decorate this so it's not just one solid stone. But for now, I think it'll work. It's going for, I think it looks pretty good. Nice big sphere on the top. I'm not sure about the color. I figured out. I do like that it all ties together. I do want some green in here. I might do, or bluish, teal, whatever this is. I might try to figure out some sort of like design I could put into this using the shifting crust here. So anyway, it exists. For now, it will work. And let's get back to our actual project. Okay, we have here our 16 by 16 platform. And we're going to chop out this tree. And hopefully get a couple saplings, just one. Yeah, okay. So we have our platform here. I'll fill in that hole in a little bit. And we have our first piece of the puzzle. And that's basically what it's going to be. It's going to be one very giant puzzle that I'm going to have to do chunk by chunk. What this is it's 16 by 16. That's the size of it. And basically, if I shift right click, apparently it didn't save. Yeah, so you have to have the bits in your inventory here, which is kind of annoying. And I need to very carefully line everything up. And I'm hoping there's a way to make it a little bit easier to line these up. Let's see. Chunk area mode centered, chunk snap mode, chunk snap to chunk XZ. Oh, so what that is if I point here, you can see this thin white line that goes up to the chunk that is currently selected. So anywhere in this chunk will do that. One thing that's a little annoying though is that the Y is completely dependent on where I click. So that means I have to kind of line everything up like that. There might be, let me play around with this for a second. So it looks like no matter what I do, it's still going to base the Y axis off of where I look. My various options are I can either do corner, which means that where I select will be the corner of it, or I can do drawn, which is I have to manually circle out an area, but maxes out at 16. I saw that and I thought it was a, thought you were that whatever mob from Ars Magica. Nope. And then the other option I have is centered, which is the one I had before. So I think we're going to just stick with centered. It's going to be kind of annoying, but I think actually the way I can do this is I can do this one centered, get this thing done, and then I can start doing the corner. And I think that'll work. So let me grab a couple more of these. Okay, we have here, I think it's our last piece, and looks like we are running out of Alpha glass there. So let's grab another stack of you. I only have one left. Well, that's not going to be enough. Right, is that what I need? Yeah. Ran out of Alpha glass for quite a lot, so I get to break up another one. So let's take you, place you down, and break you. Which we should now have enough Alpha glass. It's kind of weird. I wish I would take it from the chiseled bit bag here, but it seems to not, which is a little annoying, especially for something like this where it takes a lot of different parts of things. Should right click. We've got everything we need except you, for some reason, want to be that block instead, but we can fix that manually. So right click, puts you in place here. So let's go ahead and grab some arcane stone and switch you back to being a regular single pixel. Instruction, there we go. Single bit. Yeah. Kind of a manual process here, but I think when it's done, this should be a pretty cool little design. One thing I think I'm going to have to do here is, in order to make this not have to be like updated constantly, what I'm going to have to do, I think, is things like machinery and stuff like that, I'm going to just get rid of. Shift click, shift right click. Basically, I just don't want to have to constantly update this. So for instance, this arcane furnace here, I'm going to just get rid of him. But as soon as it won't let me, for some reason it's not letting me get rid of it. Earlier when it couldn't find the thing, it would let me just like shift right click and get rid of it. And then it would just be blank. So let's try to do that. So I figured that out. The problem was that I had it set to model result instead of current model. Current model, you can easily just set things, you can basically manually click things and say, I want Vinteam ore to now be a stone. But that being said, wall in the way. We are done with that. We have here our little Thaumcraft tower. I realized about 30 seconds ago that I actually made this a lot harder on myself than I needed to. Like I was showing before with this, I have it set that the y-axis can shift up and down, which is actually pretty nice for something like this, because then I can just manually select I want to include all the bottom, but I don't want any of the anti-blocks at the bottom. Same with all the top. But I actually figured out that if I hit Control and scroll, I can actually set it to be the whole like XYZ chunk. Well, the sub chunk, which is 16 by 16 by 16. Which means I can click anywhere here, and it'll all be the exact same, so I don't need to get the same Y. Which will be hinting a little bit. But first, I did want to show that I have now my complete tower. You can see inside. The one machine that I did actually put in here is the little Thaumcraft infusion. You can't really see it in there, but it's in there. Let's scroll away. Yeah, you can see the itty bitty little model in there. Other than that, the tower is complete. And I think I figured out my design for this building, or at least the layout, not necessarily the design. First off, we have, as you can see, this is down here. What I'm going to do is put in some sort of elevator. Haven't decided what. Come on, fly. And up here will be the rest of my base. And I've started doing that, as you can see here. Have one tiny little 3/4 of one of the domes of that. Well, at least the walls. The dome is higher, of course. But like I said, having this be able to snap to the X, Y, and Z means that I might be able to do this a little bit easier than what I have been doing. But we are starting progress. We have the start of our campus directory. Like I said, the plan's going to be the entire base is going to be laid out on this little 16 by 16 area, which I think is going to look pretty awesome. Well, a little bit of a minor annoyance here. The one on the right here is made with it being snapped to X, Y, Z, and this one right here snapped to just X and Z, so Y is able to vary on that. I think I'm going to go through and do it all this way, just because this is much easier than having to go down to a certain height. Like I had to dig a little tunnel. You can kind of see the tunnel that I dug right there. had to dig down to get to a certain spot so I could select that whole square there. I think I'm going to do it this way. The reason I was kind of hesitating on it is because the Abyssal Craft area over there is actually below this part of it. I think the very bottom layer is at Y64, which is the very bottom of this block. So a little bit annoying is that there is going to be part of that missing. What I'll probably end up doing is just chopping down into the destructive stone here and making it look like grass. But yeah, a little bit of an annoyance, but I think we can deal with it. Let's go ahead and break everything. Break you. I have to break it like this so I can get all of my little bits back. And let's break you as well. And we'll restart. I will say a very large and annoying part of this is the fact that, so here's my model, and if I look at what the result's going to be, it decides that this whole section here needs to be made out of alpha glass. No clue why. It just keeps mapping it to that. You can set the mapping here, and I have everything set to go to stone and all that. But when I go here, it goes to alpha glass. I'm kind of thinking I'm just going to do it manually. Place you, and let's just place in our wood. Because honestly, I don't care too much about down there. I'm never going to see it because it's all hidden anyway. But I can just go in here and place all of these as just regular wood. It's kind of annoying that I have to do it manually, but whatever. We are making lots of progress. Doesn't look like it because it's itty bitty, but it is progress. I think I have here now the entire greenhouse, at least the bottom part of it, and I start on the second block set. Was it a sub chunk, I think is what it's called. So I'm getting there. I'm gonna hold off on doing the middle part here. Obviously the tree isn't done yet, so it wouldn't make sense to do this and then have to do it again. And I think I'm actually gonna leave the rest of this as well, just for now, because it's kind of tiring. Because like this thing here, I still need to swap that out for the, what is this? The podzol. So that's kind of an annoying thing. I do have it so you can do it with drawing it. That didn't seem to do anything. Not sure why that didn't dig. Oh, because I didn't have a chisel in my inventory. Okay, you need to have that in your inventory in order to break that. Whatever, I'll fix that. But what I'd want to work on next here, kind of jumping around a little bit, because that's going to be a big project, getting the entire base, and I figured I might as well actually build part of my base instead. So we have here our Thaumcraft area. I think I have all the circuitry in here, except for I don't have any of the redstone torches, and I don't have the little Thaumcraft basically limiter, where if it's above a certain amount, then it goes through. I don't have those in yet, because those take a lot of crafting, actually. In fact, let me grab my book here. Thaumonomicon. Let's see, that is under Artifice, if I recall. The redstone relay. So, I need to make a lot of brass for this. If I'm going to make a lot of brass, well, I need lots of instrumentum. So, yeah, that's going to be kind of a thing I'll have to be working on. But, I have here the bottom floor here. So you can see through, you can see down below. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap out most of that living rock. It's a little too bright down there. I haven't decided what I want to use it down there though. If you have any suggestions, I'd be willing to take them. I did find actually a kind of cool thing, the Aura Lamp Cool Dark Blue Gray, which gives off light actually. So that's from Wallpaper Craft, a mod I haven't touched before placing these here. It's kind of cool, you can put down lights. How did you get in? Oh right, the stairs. Kill you. Did I get a head? Nope, no head. Just been kind of killing them, getting heads as I get them. I've been adding, I have quite a few down there, so that's helpful. Oh, that almost killed you. And more. Yay! Yeah, I have one set of stairs on here, so it at least does limit how quickly they can come in. They're not just coming out of nowhere. I did get a head there. That was good. Kill you. That should have killed you. Not sure what the little delay in this is, but it's kind of annoying. Anyway, killed you. Done. I think this is how I'm going to have my floor. Obviously, I said I want a different color down below there, something darker. I might just swap it all out for greatwood planks. I'm not sure on that. And then the rest. So I need to figure out walls. In the little creative world there, I just used the arcane stone just because that was what I had in my hotbar. But I'm not sure what I want. Might play around with some colors. Okay, so let's start off by swapping out the bottom here. just to get the darker color. I think these planks here, I think I might actually make those be... Apparently I have living... Why do I have stone down there? Oh, because I filled that in. I think these blocks here, I will have a different thing. I'm not sure what yet. Is that going to work? No, that's just going to get those. I'll get that later. Let's see what that looks like for now. I think I do like that. The middle block there, I'll probably go with something like maybe... Do I have my building chest on me? You. Do I have anything interesting? Voidstone looks cool, but I don't know if I want that down there. Just do arcane stone. Let's try arcane. Let's try this. The arcane stone. Didn't place that there. Place you. Select you. And swap just you. Does that work? Kind of industrial looking. I think that might work. I mean, I just need a block. A block that's just not great wood is really all I needed there. I think I'll go with that for a while and I'll decide if I like that. I think I'm getting somewhere I'm happy with. I'm using the polished steadfast stone, so it kind of ties in with the actual Thaumcraft area down below us. And then I have the steadfast demon eyes underneath each of the jars. Now, that's what I have so far. I've got that, I've gotten the walls, I replaced all the living rock down below, except for in the middle, I used the living rock instead of the arcane stone. And then I have the silverwood down the middle here. Now, I need to figure out what the outside's going to look like, but before I can do that, I need to figure out... So I have a system that works for basically, the idea is that the warded jars will, the ones in the front here, will pull from the ones behind them, but I need the ones behind them to also be filtered. Now, the way I had it in my creative world there was by using about 1 million different bellows, which worked, technically. The problem is that it completely kills the frame rate. I don't think that's going to be something that I can actually put in this world without it just breaking everything, especially once down below here starts going with all the note blocks and all that. Yeah, that's not really going to be an option. So I'm going to go play around in a test world here and see if I can figure out something that'll work a little bit better. So this is what I've got here. It basically is what I'd wanted before, where it takes it from the, we'll call them donor jars here. Let me grab a couple. We are in creative here, so let me... Scroll wheel kind of is not working. So I have these donor jars, which is going to all be labeled. That way, when things come through on the mirror, it'll go into the proper jars. And if I use void jars versus regular jars, even though everything's labeled, if I right-click on the warded jar, regular warded jar, with the resonator here, the suction, if it's empty, is 64, whereas the void jar is 48. So basically, I'm not quite happy with this because it does involve void jars, which A, need crystals, B, can void things, and I don't like voiding things. So this does work. I think this is what I'm going to do until I can think of something else. This is the setup I had before. I gutted it, took out all the bellows, and my frame rate is quite happy now instead of what it was before, even with all these things down here all blinking away. So yeah, void jars, that's going to be the thing. Back in the real world here, we have all of our jars are set up. The labeled ones are ones that I actually had materials and the actual Essentia down in my storage already. Have it just in the exact order that it is in NEI here, or JEI, sorry. So just in the order, which is kind of the standard order. The first 6 are your primals, and then the secondary, third, and so on. So we've got here air, terra, ignis, aqua, and so on, all the way around. These ones with things in the front, these are jars from down below, which I'll be getting rid of. And then in the back here, let me go, this will be the proper way to get to the back area, is out this door. We have jars. Yeah, basically just the back of these, I'll put the void jars down here. My plan is probably having 2 or 3, up to 4 or 5, however really I actually need, especially for instance metallum, I have quite a few of those. So I'm just going to fill this whole area back here, and I'll have a little walkway around the back edge, which then leads to, here's a wall. So let's go around, if it'll let me fly, there we go. We have here a wall, and this is the kind of design I'm going with. I'm not sure, I want something with this color, whether it's amber blocks like I'm using or something else. I want more color than just purple and the brown here. But that's kind of my plan. I'm thinking probably like a stained glass window or something at the top there. But you'd enter in the front here, and you'd have your Cathedral of Essentia, which I'm thinking I might use. In my creative world, I was thinking of Essentia mirrors on the bottom here. I'm thinking we're going to move that to the top, actually, or maybe a bit of both. But I'm going to kind of play around with that. Let me gather a few more materials. I need to figure out how many, Perdicio, the entropy, whatever, crystals, because I need a ton of those for all the void jars I'll be using. In an effort to make my life a little bit easier, we are going to do some alchemy. Glitch there. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump upstairs to the crafting table here. One thing we're going to need a lot of is these Essentia tubes. So let's go ahead and make a few of them. You go there, you go there. I don't need that many of you. Cool. So that's going to get us a little over a stack. Yeah, about just a little over a stack. Next up, we're going to take our... What am I doing now? I got the Essentia tubes. Let's turn these into Essentia valves. I now have 8 of those. Let's take those there and there. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to make ourselves quite a few of these alchemical constructs. What these guys do is basically I can turn them into... Is that not the recipe? Oh, I need crystals. I'm going to turn these into the thaumatoriums, which will be a little helpful because then I can automate making all the crystals that I need. What's my recipe here again? Yeah, greatwood planks, and then I need aqua and ordo. So I'll be right back. Like I said, alchemical constructs. So we have 4 of these. And let's grab that. What do I need now? I need some cauldrons. So the plan is, we've got that going there, the distillery. We're going to have quite a few of these when we're done. I'm not sure how many yet. I need to figure out how I'm going to actually handle the distribution of items. What's a good level? I think this level down here, not this one, that's the infusion chamber. Up here I think is going to be a good spot. I moved all of the Essentia jars from here. So those are all now upstairs in storage. So let's go ahead and figure out where we're going to put these. We've got enough to make 2 for now. So we can probably do something like, if I put you here and here, I think that'll be a good idea. That gives me a couple blocks space on each side that I can put the various inputs and outputs, and I think that'll work right there. Let's go ahead and craft ourselves a couple cauldrons, which I already made. Cool, perfect. And let's drop down, and let's replace these guys. Now, this does have to have a heat source underneath it. I'm not going to obviously use lava here, because wood. But I think nitor underneath it will work just fine. Which I just realized I probably should actually make. So let's place a piece of wood behind you, so I have something to actually place it against. Use what? Oh, missed. Okay, let's place it on you. There we go. And you get a Salus Mundus, which turn that into a crucible, same with you. And now on the top as well. And we have 2 thaumatoriums, which for now I don't have anything hooked up to it, but that's okay. Let's go ahead, and the main thing we're going to want to make right now is crystals. So if I place you here, and I sort you to, there we go, Perdicio. So let's go ahead and stick a tube on the side. Oh, that's annoying. Reset. And we're going to have to run upstairs to grab the actual jar, because I moved them all. I did actually cheat. I have, well, not cheat, but I have a shortcut. The top floor here, if I right click on this luminizer, takes me straight up into the actual Essentia Storage area, which is pretty handy. Right, I still don't actually have any Perdicio here. But I do have some gunpowder on me, which I can smelt down. I have jars. I think I've got everything I need. I think I have some charcoal down there as well. So, down here again. You wouldn't have any... Do you have any charcoal? Nope. That's obsidian. How about you? No. Did I put it down next to the smelter? I think so. There we go. Lots of coal. So we're going to go like this. Right now, that is hooked up, which I think will work. No, we're just going to skip that. Break you. And we are just going to hook you up manually. to a jar. So let's go ahead, toss in a little bit of gunpowder, a little bit of coal, and now we wait. We have ourselves a partial jar, so let's go ahead and make ourselves a chest. Where'd my wood go? There we go. And that's really just to throw in the front of this thing, because otherwise it'll just throw them out into the world. Place you there, place our warded jar there, and it should start drawing that once I select the item. So here we go, and click. So that will start drawing in the Essentia here, hopefully. Any minute now. 154. Still 154. You do want this, right? Yeah, we'll just throw some night ore under it. That's what I said. Yeah, I should probably have actually, taken my own advice there. So let's go ahead and place you there. You're now drawing, and we're getting our crystals. Awesome. Let's place the chest back on. That should start filling up. Awesome, cool. Now we wait. One thing worth noting is in several past versions of Thaumcraft, but then there's also a couple other versions that didn't happen, night ore counted as a stabilizer. So what we're going to do is just to keep everything symmetric, is we're going to put 2 more over here to offset those 2 over there. It might be out of range, it might not be, but I kind of don't really want to take chances with that. So that's going to go, that's good, and we have ourselves our crystals. Cool. Now that we have that, I can actually get to work making some actual warded jars, which I think I have everything I need right here. Warded jar. Oh, can't shift click. And crystals. Awesome. Let's see how many I can do before I kill everything. Didn't break. Cool. Let's go ahead and add this to our new collection here. So I'm going to throw this warded jar in the front, which has Preditio in it. And let me grab a file of that, place it in there. Place it in there. There we go. Now that that is there, I can label it, which works. And let's go ahead, keep flight going, and grab ourselves some tubes. And which one are we on? This guy. Tube goes on the back, and void jar goes on the back. Another glass file, and we're going to have to go kind of quick here. We place it in here, and we label it, which I need to be on that side. Cool. So let's go over here and try that again. Oh, excuse me, I didn't invite you to this party. Let's kill you with this. Get a head? Nope, no head. Okay, flight. Let's fly up here and take our file. And okay, if I place it there, that should work. Place you. Label it on the front. Cool. So they are now both labeled. You are not labeled, which means if I stick a tube on the front here, it will start pulling out of there and going into the regular jar. If this was more fuller than the normal labeled jar could hold, then that would go instead to the void jar. And I think, there we go. So that's kind of what I've been doing here to populate all the labels all around here. As I get the various Essentias, I'm putting them in place here. Once I have a good number of them, what I can do then is just throw a couple mirrors up here, a couple mirrors down below, and have it do it all automatically. Okay, I moved a couple of my mirrors, so let's go ahead and toss 1 coal in here. That will start smelting up. I'll probably get Ignis first. And let's run upstairs. Oh, there we go. We have Ignis, it's coming out and going over here. Awesome. So that's working. One thing I do want to verify is that it'll actually fill up the maybe the next jar before it fills up this one entirely. Because I don't want to void anything. That's the thing with this whole design, that I wasn't happy about having to use the void jars. Ideally, I'd have like a way to reduce suction on an individual jar, but I don't seem to have that. So that's filling that up quite nicely, which is awesome because it also means that it works from being just on the floor here. It's not really showing anything, but it is flowing because I did see the numbers increasing still. 201, 202, 203. It's a little disappointing that I don't actually see the Essentia flying. But whatever, it does work. Awesome. Aha. So it looks like it is going to try to fill this one, even though it's already full. And this guy's empty. So it's not attempting to fill this one, which is a little annoying. If I break you, do you start filling? It's hard to tell because it's not showing the Essentia flying there. Oh, it's going over there. Why are you going over there? Oh, because it's unlabeled. Okay. That is the problem with doing this when it's not quite ready yet. You shouldn't be Ignis. Stop being Ignis. Well, it's not quite a perfect system. It looks like I'm a little too far, because right now there's air essence in there right now. It paused on me. Come on, there we go. Yeah, there's air essence stuck in the system right now, because it apparently cannot reach this block over here. As far as I know, it doesn't need to be complete line of sight, but let's just break this just to be sure. Break you. Anything? 205. Yeah, still not really working, so I think it is a distance thing, which is a little bit of a shame because I think it's right at that same distance over here. So I'm going to have to kind of adjust that. I might have to split up which ones are processing what and which mirror it goes to, but I think overall the system is going to work. So I'm just going to kind of expand this between episodes, and I think I'm going to also have to figure out what I want the architecture here to look like. But I think for now we're going to call that for an episode, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.